What's happening? Hopefully y'all can hear me. All right, got some people in the chat. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Trent, no, I already came in. First person. Trent said, look, coaching staff is more polished than the roster. We have seasoned coaches in place at head spots and assistants. A lot of guys who have been interim or called plays before the coaches aren't the problem. What's up, Lock? That's what my boy T said. That's what my boy T said. What's happening? I told y'all we're just gonna try to come and start doing this thing early. You feel me? Want to talk out early. You feel me? Want to get this out the way early. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all don't mind that your boy coming up with new time so that boy can shine. Bars. I was playing. I actually spit. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, the Lochness does do music. You feel me? But give people a few opportunities to come up and hear a few more moments. Let me know where y'all viewing from, where you're listening from. Throw red and black in the chats. Let me know if my levels is good. Is the levels good? Because I got these headphones on, so the headphones making it seem like I'm Gucci, man. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. You feel me? He said, I'm here 24/7. As soon as I see that notification, my boy, I'm her. You know what I'm saying? See, that's how you gotta be, man. Let's see somebody like you going places, my boy. He said, I'm punctual and consistent. Man, you go on places. But yeah, like I said, this is the Lochness on Tuesday early. Let's talk about it with the Lochness. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy show. I'm starting, like I said, I'm trying to start this new little time where we 6:05. Because waiting until the late, something might happen at JLB, then I might get called and I gotta push my shows back. And I'm like, I don't like to push my shows back. It's always something. So, like I said, the show is about, let's talk about it with the Lochness. This is a show. Let's talk about it with the Lochness. Is the Atlanta Falcons coaching regime built to win at all three levels? So, like I said, we lit, we live, we out here. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what I normally say. That's my little slogan. I say, we lit, we live, we out here. You know what I'm talking about? So I do have some shirts that say we lit, we live, we out here with my Lochness podcast on the back. You know what I'm saying? The Lochness podcast sign is the sign that's in my upper right corner. It's got that on the back of the shirts. And it's got we lit, we live, we out here. I'm trying to think of a good price point for the shirts. You know what I'm saying? But they dope. I like them. A lot of people like them. You can get them in a many different colors. You feel me? So for sure. I ain't really gonna try to hold y'all. Like I said, I'm trying to start this new time. Some people gonna pop up in here, some people not. Once they see the notification like you did, then they're gonna start sliding in here like, okay. And then as I consistently do this time, they're gonna be like, okay, my boy ain't going on after Lady Birds, is going on before Lady Birds. So that's what I'm trying to do. Because most of the time, you know, you want to have a show to get you, you know, we got to preheat the oven. I'm gonna preheat the oven with the content, and then the Lady Birds gonna go ahead and, you know, finish it off. Because their shows be having some good shows. They be having some good shows, and they be having some heavy hitters, and they be having some old players, and they be having some good content coming from the ladies over there. And then sometimes we do have other people from the Atlanta Falcons Nation, LSC, pulling up and doing their things at 7:15, you know, before that show. So you said hello everyone. E-Mac, what's happening? Jermaine, John, what is that? Jermaine Jernigan. I'm saying it right. Super Bowl Falcons. Wachowski. I believe it. I believe we like. I believe in my heart of hearts that we are consistent quarterback, good quarterback play away from being where we need to be. Our defense is here. We have everything we need on offense. It's just that we need execution from the quarterback position consistently. So honestly, I believe we are a one player away. And that one player in that skilled position is the new marquee position on the offense, which is the quarterback. And I think if we get consistent play, through in that position, we're gonna be great. We're gonna be really great. I told y'all before, and I said this in my last show, I'm gonna say it again. Y'all start saving up y'all money for that playoff home game ticket. Cause like I said, this team is here. You know what I'm saying? And everybody said on paper. That's damn near every team if that's the case. At this point, when people say stuff like it's on paper we look good, that's every team, man. When people make roster moves and this, that, and the third, you can't deny our defense. So we can't be like, well, if they had a defense, and last time I checked, defense wins championships. Are we not saying defense wins championships anymore? So if defense wins championships, and our defense is here, I don't. The problem wasn't the defense; it was our offense consistently doing what it needs to do. That's why we said quarterback play. We need a consistent quarterback play. I'm transparent on here, man. I sat down after looking at our 29th ranking roster, and to be real, not sure at quarterback question, at wide receiver question on the line, linebacker, corner 2, D tackle. We are not close. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's before I even continue my show, let's address this because this is good. See, this is somebody like Trenton, TR8. He's somebody that's a student of the game. See, I'm a student of the game. I like to look at statistics and analytics and all of these things and go back and like, and, rub my chin, scratch my hair, like, let me do some math, like, you know what I'm saying? So being a student of the game, he said, I'm not sure it's just a quarterback question. Okay. The offense win or lose at quarterback? Yes or no? Rhetorical. So do you think we got consistent quarterback play these last few years? You look at the games that we played, we was a couple of plays away from sealing games. And some of it was quarterback play. Some of it was we couldn't stop a nosebleed in the middle of the field nor the run. But our defense was here. Our defense, it's just like, be careful what you ask for. Like I said, that movie Wishmaster, I talked about that movie Wishmaster. Everybody heard of the monkey's paw? When you ask for 3 wishes, but it gives you what you want, but it's a catch to it. So we asked for pressure. Oh, we want the defense to have more pressure, disruption. We got that. But know what we didn't get? Somebody that can stop a run in the middle of the field still open. So we got one thing without the other. Let me know my show. It's time for my show. And I'm already on it. We got one thing, but we didn't get the other. So one of the things that people need to look at is, did we address the needs of the defense? We did. Now the question is, and this goes for any team, are they going to execute and do their job? That's why I feel like it's a quarterback. If we had a consistent quarterback that was doing his job, our offense would look different. Because there wouldn't be no reason for you to be like, we got Kyle Pitts, we got a Drake London, we got a Bijan Robinson. Then when Michael Penix was out there, had open shots, overthrowing them. No touch on the ball. Couldn't get it to the receivers. Throwing the ball super, like he's throwing a pitch, throwing a fastball every time. And then when Kirk Cousins got out there, softer, veteran throws, people start catching the balls. Pause. You feel me? But the 20 or so sacks we got from the interior is not an answer for D tackle. It's an answer to pass rush. Yes, absolutely. So the question is, did we address D tackle? And if we did, is that person going to execute and buy into what we got going on? So that's the thing. We got to a point where, no, possibly with Tua. And that's a question mark around the quarterback situation. So I give it I want to say this. Arthur Blank, them, I believe, endorsed Tua. They endorsed Tua. You feel me? Now they're now okay. Thought somebody was coming in. Now they endorsed not Tua, they endorsed Michael Penix Jr. So they're like, hey, reassuring people, they'll say anything on, you know what I'm saying? And I believe Michael Penix Jr. got 2 more years in this. He got 2 more years. And I say that because Tua is the bridge to give him a gap to get healthy. I've been said that. Tua should be starting regardless of what. That's just my opinion. You don't bring Tua in and not start him. I would start Tua just because Tua Tagovailoa. I thought they should be starting Tua to give Michael Penix more time to heal, to get acclimated with the Tommy Reese them offense, Kevin Stefanski, whatnot, and what they're trying to do. That helps him because he didn't have that nucleus of coaches around him, so it makes more sense to me. What up, Lochness? Thank you for the great content. Which QB is good? Good choice to start week 1. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. It makes more sense to have Tua Tagovailoa start. Knock on wood. Saying they go, oh, he's concussed prone and hit old boy's knees. Oh, we got 2, messed up QBs. No, we don't. That can be anybody going out there and taking a hit and going down. Stop it. Get help. And then what Michael Jordan said. But we have a better O-line. Yes, we have a better O-line because you got to think about it. We can't have multiple pieces in the O-line that's moving out and moving in, moving out. We got to kind of keep the same O-line for years and then have the right coaches develop these people. And then that would strengthen the O-line because they always say, oh, you got an undersized O-line. No, we have a good O-line. Besides McGarry getting a check and then all of a sudden retiring. I'm thinking like, are y'all just trying to put a pin in his career right now so he can just chill and get more healthier and then come back on retirement like Eddie Goldman? Is that an Eddie Goldman situation right there? If the quarterback can stabilize, that would help tremendously. But about wide receiver 2, who's going to catch the ball? Okay. As far as the receivers go, I'm going to be 100%. As far as the receivers go, some people don't understand. Like, Mooney was a shell of itself. After Mooney became hurt, after he came back, he wasn't the same. He wasn't Mooney. He was moonshine. He was something else. I don't know what he was, but he wasn't himself. And he could have been playing hurt. Unfortunately, if you're underperforming, no production, and it comes to how much we're paying you for that production, if the math don't math, you gone. That's what happened with Mooney. You gone. You know what I'm saying? So So who's going to catch the balls? Does quarterback play make the hole at tackle a non-factor? We just need to slow down a little. Okay, so when it comes to the offense, let's talk about offense first. I'm gonna get the defense in a minute. Let's talk about offense. We always seem to play tough teams, the toughest. That's just a coaching factor. And that's called preparation for the, once you do the scouting and you preparing for the team that you're going against. If you're going to say, hey, we're going to preach nose, like palm in the dirt, 3-point stance, hand in the dirt, no, like hard nose, get after the quarterback, let them know we here, let your presence be known. You know what I'm saying? It's like physicality, speed on defense. But when we talk about offense, it's understanding the mismatches. If I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a minute. Give me a moment. If Kyle Pitts is an X factor, he produces mismatches, And like I said, if the Atlanta Falcons coaching regime, are they built to win at all three levels? And like I said, we're going to start with offense. Let's talk about Tommy Rees right quick. Tommy Rees he has had past experience at offensive coordinator, the collegiate level and the NFL level. Wouldn't you take a Tommy Rees over the last guy we had? I dare not say his name. I dare not speak of his name, who had no experience calling plays. I'm pretty sure we would take the experience. What did Tommy Rees also do? Tommy Rees also was a quarterback coach, which helps us at quarterback. Having somebody that's experienced, that understands quarterback play. And guess what? Tommy Rees also did with the Browns. He was the tight end coach. What do we have on our team if not one of Kyle Pitts is top 5? Like, can you name me? I believe Kyle Pitts is like top 5 tight ends. I want to say top 6, 7, maybe. He's in top 10 conversation, trust me. And he, despite him getting missing on some games, just production wise, he has the games to match up. But what do we need from our quarterback? We don't need someone to go out there and blow the top off. You know what I'm saying? We don't need somebody to go be hero ball. We don't need hero ball. We need consistent playmakers making plays. We have a playmaker in Kyle Pitts. We have a playmaker in Drake London. We have a playmaker in Bijan Robinson. When you have 3 juggernauts, a 3-headed monster, just think about it like this. Kyle Pitts used to get doubled and triple teamed. You put him next to a Drake London, they can't do that anymore. They double team Drake, they double team Kyle. Then that's when the wide receiver 2 doesn't have to be somebody that's breaking like records out there. It just needs to be somebody that do their job. I need you to run said route, get behind the soft zones, or in contested catches, catch the football that's thrown to you. I give you 6 targets. I give you 7 targets a game. I need you to catch 4 of them. Drake London's going to get his. Bijan's going to get his. Kyle's going to get his. But 7 targets for somebody else that's like one-on-one matchups, because it's going to produce some mismatches. And this game, in this way, this offense is predicated on. You look at our offense, it's predicated with the wide receivers on speed. One of the things that struggled, what Michael Penix struggled with, was putting touch on the football for just a dump off, like an easy check down. What we're going to be using is those simple passes, not overcomplicating things, not trying to overcomplicate things to a point where it's easy pitch and catch, and then using the player's athleticism to get us where we need to be. How many times Bijan broke, boom, boom, Bijan did Bijan. You thought he would stop. He stopped. Bam, cut out. Boom, he's off to the sideline. Running. And it's like, whoa, what a, like, and that's what we need. This season quarterback position is unique. The one starter isn't the starter for the season. It's an open situation until someone fully takes the job. Switching quarterbacks mid never leads to wins. Midway never leads the wins. It does if you got somebody that's already played for the team. But the funny thing about this, the one thing that we have that many people don't talk about is this is a new regime. That means anything is a go. Anything is a go. I love our Falcons, but not sold on our O-line outside of the stretch run scheme. They haven't proved anything than Chris and Jake. We have 2.5 linemen guaranteed that not good percentages. One, they can't stay healthy. Like some of them just can't. I mean, Bergeron, come on now. You got to get Bergeron his flowers. Get Bergeron his flowers. You get Drake his flowers. You're definitely going to get Lindstrom his flowers. What's up, people? What's happening? Hello. I love that you bring up mismatches being Cleveland's base offense was 12 and 13. We would have played one wide receiver early downs. You had play matchups with Pitts in the circumstances. It's on 8 to be a dog. Yeah. Like we give him, and it's also on the quarterback to put the ball to sometime where only the receiver can catch it. And sometimes you can flip the field, you know, or you can run a play where you keep the defense honest. Or when it comes to mismatches, and I always talked about this when it came to mismatches, some people get mismatched so bad that to prevent the person from catching the ball, they have to do pass interference. Just imagine if they throwing it up there, somebody like Dotson or Zacchaeus is going for it. They gotta grab them because they so fat. They gotta pass interference them, and we already down the field. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, we can't really like look at our team and predicate it on the old team because everything is new. So really, we should be just washing our hands and just saying, "Hey, go out there and win." Because, like I said, they don't have scouting reports on us. They got scouting reports on what we did 5 years, but we don't know what we're gonna do this year. Hey, Maggie T, what's that? Has been the wide receiver room, which has been a rotating door of guys dropping balls for 2 years. It has been, but then again, that's also has something to do with the quarterback. Okay. Can you imagine somebody throwing you a fastball and you trying to catch it with your hands? That's Michael Penix. He hasn't learned touch. He was missing wide open Bijan going out to the flats on just a simple out, check down. Overthrow him. Simple. So it's like the one thing that we have is we got an offensive coordinator that understands the quarterback position as well. Understand Stefanski, a head coach that understands the tight end position. They always talked about what he did to Shador in Cleveland. What he did to Shador. Look at what he did. And I'm like, how do you know it was him? There's always a channel of command. People just think people just blindly just do stuff. There's a chain of command. You have a chain of command. If his boss is saying do this, it's either you do it or you get fired for being insubordinate. Yeah, look at Tommy. Look at what Tommy Reese and Stefanski doing to Shador. Okay. Not saying it was good, but it's always a chain of command, man. It's levels to it. Wide receiver 2, I got you. I know, in fact, the last season I've been watching Cleveland tape, and I'm concerned with the possibility of the offense coming out flat. Cleveland sucked on offense with all 3 quarterbacks, both play callers, and they suck. Yeah. The one thing that people don't understand that we're not really giving credit to, we're alluding to the fact that we have an additional coach. We have an additional quarterback coach. His name is Matt Ryan. Put some respect on Matt Ryan. You don't think they're sitting here asking Matt Ryan that year when we went to the Super Bowl, when we had our offense, what is it that we had? What is it what we were doing? Let's go look at that tape and you tell me what you was feeling at those moments. And you don't think that's going to translate. So let me tell you what we did. So the one thing they don't have in Cleveland, they didn't have a surefire Hall of Famer quarterback coming back into the franchise and saying, hey, let's do this way. And that's exactly, like I said, that's why the Matt Ryan hire is so dominant and it does so much for my mindset on the direction. They can sit down all day, my guys and girls, all day and tell you whatever they want to say in the media. It's called having, that social media presence, that presser, being somebody, that PR presence, talking. Yes, Stefanski is going to call all the plays. Like you see in my eyes, Stefanski is going to call all the plays. No, you know what? Stefanski said it's going to be Tommy Rees calling the plays. You see how straight my eyes is? But they behind the scenes, they're like, hey, Matt Ryan, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and all y'all going to decide and create what we need. Matt Ryan, you already you had a career year with our boy Kyle Pitts. What was he doing? What routes were we running? I'm trying to tell you, it's a lot that goes on. No team is going to give you their blueprint. No, when they shut the door, they ain't going to tell you. When you close the door at your house, do you tell? Well, some people do be telling their business in their house. I ain't going to cap. But you don't tell them everything. Matt Ryan said he's not going to do anyone else's job, though. Like I said, I can get in front of a camera. So you got my boy over here upset. Good nigga, chill. Kennel. He alert right now. I can say anything to you. Hey, man. I love Stefanski. He's the best head coach I've ever played with. Pause that. That doesn't even sound right. Played for. That doesn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? I love this guy. The best head coach ever. You know what I'm saying? 2-time coach of the year. What you talking about? I'm riding with him till the wheels fall off. And then get behind closed doors. Man, I don't like that nigga. Man, I don't like Stefanski, bro. That was like a stupid hire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say whatever you want to say. I'm looking at what they're going to do on this field. That's what's important to me. We have a clean slate. Our hands is washed up 5 years ago. 5 years. 3 7-10 seasons. 2 8-9 seasons. Wash my hands of it. Now we should be what? What we should be now? 9-7? Or 10-7? We should be 10-7. We should be 10-7 this year. I'm giving us 11-6. Because we had 2 games it was really 3 games, but we just gonna say 2. We win 2 of those games. Like it's a different, it's different. And we're 11, like it's like we're 10 and what? It's different, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's different. It's different to me. We would like 10-7 is where we at. 10-7, 11-6. 10-7 or 11-6. Those are my numbers. I think we're 11-6, we're winning the division. We're 10-7, we're winning the division. We just have to improve one game. We was stagnated 7-10. Unfortunately, Raheem they had the right mindset, poor execution, but we are still improved one game. Hopefully, this squad we have, these Avengers we assembled this time are hitting different. They're hitting different. Yeah, 10-7, definitely. Special team cost us. You got. I'm telling you, and I'm gonna get back to that. Like that's the whole reason why I'm saying. If I even go to the defense, we're gonna go to special teams. Since you don't brought it up, let's talk about special teams. Our special teams was atrocious. It was like the worst thing we had about us. We couldn't stop the nosebleed with the run. We were giving it up in the middle of the field. But our special teams was the worst thing about us. It was the worst thing about us. And you're right. We gave up games because of the special teams. That's why I came up with the mindset of, is this team built to win at all three levels? So we go to Craig, I want to say Uckerman. A is silent. He has 17 years of experience. That's something that you can't teach. You can't teach 17 years of experience. You just have to experience 17 years. So what you're going to teach is the do's and don'ts of what you've learned about certain teams. And then you learn your personnel. And then sometimes having we're not even talking about that we got a solid kicker on our team now, which helps you guessed it, special teams. And Uckerman is known for producing great kickers. Well, a few kickers and a few special team people up under his belt have become, all-stars, which is good. You want to have somebody that's kind of proven. You don't want to have somebody that's like, what can you say about Raheem Morris and his lineage in the NFL and what he's done? It's a lot of them. Not just I'm only speaking of Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson. I know he was with the Rams. That's all I knew. I ain't hear that he was like, oh man, he was with the Rams. They was killing it. Like I don't know. And then sometimes when you're in an easier situation, a lot of people don't understand when it comes to situations in football, when it comes to organizations, if you're in a lax, in a chill, in a every organization has their problems. Let's just be 100%. It's like a family. Everybody has their problems. But some families know how to galvanize and function as a family, and some people just don't. And you got the ones what they do and you know what they don't. When it comes to the organization, from the past 10 years, this organization was poorly ran. We seen it. They was giving out Dimitrov, everybody was getting contracts. They was blowing up salary to a point that we suffered in salary cap when we couldn't get nobody. And then nobody wants to play for a losing team. And then when people get booted off, they talking about 28-3. 9 out of 10 wins would have been where we were if we factored and continuing with the same staff. This is an entire new situation and a team. We're at square one. We shouldn't anticipate growing of last year and fresh start. Actually, yeah, this is what I'm saying. So if we can set the narrative by just going out there and winning. The one thing that they're giving us in the media is that we're still a bull, like our team is like whatever. But I was like, so do we have something to prove? Yes. Uckerman does have to develop folks. Bailey individually, they are already solid folks, had led the league 2 years in a row, is 40. He doesn't need special team coaching at all. When it comes to special team work, we don't really consider special teams is something that we really need to focus on. As far as when people are just fans of the game, most people only know offense and defense. They don't even think about special teams. They don't think about punting and flipping the field. They don't think about, field goals. They don't think about going down there, and tackling when they got somebody that's about to run. You know what I'm saying? Or kicking the ball and then making it roll and stopping them on their own one. Those are special team plays. Those plays get overlooked because people want to see offense, and then people know about the defense. But special team play is just as important as it. Like I say, all three levels: offense, defense, and special teams. And like I said, we failed on special teams. We got a Z on special teams. I ain't gonna count. If you can get a letter grade, we got a Z on special teams. To me, it was a Z. I actually believe it's safer to say the team will have struggles on new staff instead of saying we're going from 8 wins to 9 with a new coach. When somebody was a first-time head coach, wasn't the Rams head coach? Was it the Rams head coach? It was his first year. He went to like the playoffs or something like that. When the last year, it was some team, and that's what I'm gonna say. Some people, and I just mentioned this. I'm gonna circle back around to it. Some people in organizations, when you have an organization that's fairly ran really well, and you bring a new head coach in there, but you really don't change too much of anything. A few players, maybe. If it's ran correctly, it's going to be a plug and play situation, even for the head coach. Everything is going to be simplified. And then I'm going to give you an example. Andy Reid, when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, was crushing it. He had McNabb, T.O. He was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Dawkins, they was out there. Right? When he went to Kansas City, he made Kansas City a contender. I think from the moment he stepped out there with them. And then when he got Mahomes, it was on. Right? I don't mean it's impossible. I think it's safer for us to expect the struggles from all new parts. I expect people, if people buy in, like I said, and it goes back to me starting off, it starts off with everybody doing your job. If you're paid to catch the football, catch the football. If you're paid to throw the football, throw the football. That's as simple as I can put it. I ain't looking for you to catch the football and go for a tutty every time. But understanding that doing your job creates more opportunities for you to continuously do your job. The one thing that I say about people who get their pay, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, I'm talking to both of us. Both of us. Because Bijan Robinson, I'm going to say Bijan Robinson is about to get his too. I don't think it's coming this year. I honestly think it should come next year. But understand that you got your bread. But I allude to the fact that Kyle Pitts said this on some type of interview. It feels good to know that people want you to be here. Like, regardless of what, he's a good tight end. You know, I got a little malice in my chest area over that none. I'm gonna keep bringing y'all gonna be like, how many times this man Kyle Pitts sign this man jersey? Sign this man, walk up, find out what the Lochness is in the Dirty Bird nest and say, hey, where's the Lochness at? Where's Mask Off at in the Dirty Bird's nest? And then here's that jersey for him. Because I was getting tired of him keep on mentioning it. That's all I want, man. Just sign my jersey, bro. I ain't even got my own jersey. I just need you to sign it, bro. Sign it, take a picture, you sign it to authenticate that it's signed by you. I put it in the thing, I put it in the case, and we Gucci, man. But like you said earlier, like we can't. Kyle Pitts is Kyle Pitts. If he wants to be a dog, he'll be a dog. If he wants to go out there and have a game like he had on tight end day, if you can do that on tight end day, that means you can do that every day. And we're not expecting you to be that guy. Like I said, I'm not expecting Kyle Pitts to catch 7 passes for 115 yards and a tutty. I'm expecting him to catch 4 passes. No more than 80 yards. Maybe a touchdown. And then a Drake London will get you 100 yards. 1 tutty on 7 catches. The person who has the most catches should be Drake London. Next, Kyle Pitts. Next, in catches, wide receiver 2, whoever that is. And then Bijan gonna run all over the place. Like, you don't reinvent the wheel. We take what we have and we execute. We don't reinvent the wheel. We know, hey, we got Bijan. Let's get better players where we can open up the holes for Bijan, run behind the tackles, do a stretch play run, throw it to him. Andy Reid, who came into Alex Smith later, the great Pat Mahomes. We don't have that type of situation. What I'm saying is, when a head coach comes into a situation that is is already put together, it's easier for that person to maneuver within a situation that's already, like, if you go get a car and they say the only thing you need is an oil change and some new tires, you go, oh yeah, oil change and some new tires, I got that. Now, if somebody say, hey man, you need an oil change, some new tires, an engine, you might need to look at the transmission, maybe check them filters, man. Look at the fluids too. Hey man, that power steering fluid, man. Oh yeah, timing belt. Oh, it's a hole in the gasket as well. You're gonna be like, So when it comes to this situation with the Atlanta Falcons, they got to see what type of machine, what type of vehicle we got. I don't think we need all of those things, but I do think we need, like, even if we have a car that can roll from point A to point B, I still feel like when given with better direction, this team will be better. And I think that's what we lacked, because I don't feel like it's going to be a lot of egos in that building when it comes to this team. Our wide receiver 2 has been Bijan since we had Kyle, and no show until late. That's what I'm saying. But see, you can't blame that on Kyle. I had to do what you did. Go look back at the tape, look down, sit, look at highlights, look at games, write stuff down. The thing is, how Kyle Pitts was utilized determines on how effective he is in our offense. When Matt Ryan was throwing to Kyle Pitts, he was the only person to throw to. So we have to make a Kyle Pitts a focal point. Like we got a Bijan Robinson a focal point. Drake London is just Drake London. He's going to get his. He's just going, hey. But see, that's the thing. One thing about that is, that's when I talked about Zachariah Branch. They looked at him like, why did they get him? He's like a gadget guy. He's like a DI. What's that? What's his name? Debo Samuels. He's like a Swiss Army knife. They only use him for this. Like, you can't fault a player for being in a position where they utilize him. They say, hey, since you're fast, we're gonna just do sweep plays, end arounds, screens, quick slants. We're not gonna allow you to run down the field and go get it, because you're like a smaller guy. So the thing is about that is, we can't fault. You look at how this whole offense was ran last year. I'm gonna be 100%. We can't go off of none of that. We can't go off of none of that. We can't even look at what Stefanski then was doing in Cleveland and think that's the same situation over here. It's not. It is not. People need to remove their feelings from this stuff. People need to remove their feelings from, making better business decisions when it comes to teams. And a lot of people have their feelings in this stuff, but they feel like, Stefanski did this to Shador, this, that. Look at what he did. I'm like, bro, it's a chain of command. Let's just be 100%. Now that I can get with Pitts has to be a focal point. London and Bijan will get theirs. Yeah, because we have a Stefanski and a Reese that were predicated on the quarterback and the tight end. I always felt like this team would be more successful being a passing team that can run, not a running team that can pass. But then again, it looked like we was a running team that can pass. But I think we'll be more successful in my eyes, because I've said it multiple times. We need to be a passing team that can run. You don't have one of the better tight ends in the game and you don't use them. You don't have one of the better wide receivers in the game and you don't use them. You don't have Bijan Robinson, which has become the number one running back in the game. But you don't want to be like, you don't want to use a Bijan Robinson like how Barry Sanders was used in Detroit. You don't want to just keep going to Bijan. Absolutely not. Not when you're paying a tight end what he's getting, and not when you're paying a wide receiver what he's getting. So we need to be a passing team that can run. That's the reason I said that. You don't pay people to say, hey, man, you know what? We're going to Deshaun Watson you. We're going to give you $200 million guaranteed, and you're going to get hurt and sit on the bench and get married and be eating fruit and sit up there. And I ain't seen the field not one time, but you got $200 million guaranteed? That bugs me, yo. I'm not even going to cap. Like, but yeah, if we're going to pay these guys, we're going to pass to them. We know what Bijan can do. We need to preserve that. We see what happens. See, the thing is about Kyle Pitts, to me, when Drake London's out there, he get lost. He'll have 1 or 2 catches. You won't see him no more. And then people are like, he's getting double teamed and arm wrapped, and they goddamn tackling him before he get the ball. We'll throw the ball to him so he can sit out here and they can get a pass interference and move down the field easily. Throwing in his direction while he's getting grabbed. Pause. So guess what that means? Pass interference. You're not going to get it called every time. But the fact of the matter is, if he's already producing a mismatch, but then again, you also got to think about his development. He probably wasn't being developed. It's a whole new system. You sit back and look at Michael Penix Jr. sitting on the sideline by himself. And this man told on y'all when he just said only people he calls a head coach from high school or something and his fiance. And he didn't say not one player on the team. Not even a Kirk Cousins. Not even the current quarterback coach. Not even the head coach. That says a lot. I'm gonna be 100%. I'm gonna be 100%. Hit that 3:30. What's up, man? I'm gonna be 100%. When you work hard at a job, you be busting your anus, doing everything you need to do, staying late. People don't show up, you still stand. You finishing your job, even if your time expires. You like, look, I'm gonna just stay and just finish this all right quick. Doing your thing. And you never get no congratulations, no thank you, no nothing. You're gonna feel some kind of way, right? But saying you finish one task that somebody you always wanted to get, like you finish a task that needed to be done that we need to do at the company. And then that person say, hey man, you did a good job. I appreciate you. You're gonna feel good, right? Won't it feel good when these players come in here and we're winning? Right? Don't it feel good when your head coach say, one of the moments that I liked, although we were 7-10, when Artie when we won that game, you would have swore we won the Super Bowl. The way this man was having beers. You remember when he was having beers with the team? They was like Stone Cold Steve Austin in that month, like cracking them and saying, I'm like, oh yeah, like yeah. That feeling, that morale boost. Can you imagine how this team is gonna look when they're winning? And all that ego stuff and firing people and sending people home is way past them. It's probably it probably even feel different because it's a whole new staff. So pause that. So the team, what we think they're gonna be, they might even be more, might even be better. Think about that. Thank you. It's passing league. We need a pass on an open run, not the other way around. Yeah. We need to open the run, not the other way around. Yeah. You need the pass is going to open up the run because you're going to have them being honest. You're going to have them sitting back like, oh, let's sit back because these guys, we can't stop a nosebleed. One thing I liked about when Arthur Smith was here was when he said, we're going to run the damn ball the entire time because they could not stop it. One thing that the Raheem regime them did, we're gonna call it the Raheem regime them did, was when they had an opportunity, when they did something that they could not stop, they stopped. Like, hey, Drake London is getting to that. Hey, Drake London is catching the ball, coming up, like showing face out, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, keep feeding them. You know what we're gonna do? We finna pass to KC Washington. Seals. You know who haven't got a pass? Seals haven't got a pass. Let's try to throw 3 passes to Seals. He missed every time. We had old boy in the preseason going on. What, number 19? I think it's number 19. Going off. That's why they say preseason don't matter. You should have let him play in the preseason. Does it really matter? Because Bud went off in the preseason and he didn't see the field one time. I didn't think he's seen the field not one time. Stop it. Get help. That's crazy. And we come to this. Defense wins championships, y'all. They're already talking about Jeff Ulbrich put himself in the coaching portal and all. Before the season even started, they're already trying to take the guy away from us. When did they do that? They did the same thing when old boy from San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, we was on our team going against the greatest quarterback of all times. The Atlanta Falcons, finna make history with our historic offense we had. And our defense was all right, too. And what's one of the things they were asking this man in his presser? So we hear that you're trying to be the head coach of the Falcons 49ers. Like, why are you asking this man about a head coaching job? He has to go win the Super Bowl. Why are we talking about that? And then you lose a Microsoft Service Pro and you forget how to coach. Man, stop this shit, bro. Stop it. You finna make me relive some trauma. After we paid Freeman, he forgot how to run. These are called legs? Like, what are you doing? I can't make this up, y'all. He said, builds chemistry. Absolutely. Tua can do it as long as he's healthy. Absolutely. Tua is a winner. He's a winner. Since Alabama, he was good. Like, don't forget, he wasn't a slouch. See, a lot of people discredit people based off of, hey, because you had a bad season. They said Tua had a worse season last year. Tua had the worst season he's ever had last year, and he still did better than Michael Penix. Stop it. These are just facts. He did worse and still did better than Michael Penix in his worst. Why wouldn't that translate? Like, okay, you did bad. That means shit. Like, you still can do better than him. So come on out here and do what you do. And then we only got you for 1 year. We don't have to pay you. We got you for 1 year, my boy. And then you do us what we need. Thank you. Now, Michael Penix, you done had your opportunity to get healthy. You got a year up under your belt of training with the team, doing what you need to do. Don't have to rush you back. Get you acclimated with the playbook. Offense is yours. Go out there and do it. Now, see my boy looking. Now, we can move him up, do his thing for 2 more years. And then you guess who we got? A Jack Strand that sat behind for 3 years developing. And everybody knows about Jack Strand. He's like a Matt Ryan reincarnated, just faster. That's it. You know, we might see Jack Strand out there in preseason. Don't be surprised if we do. You remember when we had that other dude in preseason, that other quarterback, and he took that hit in preseason, he was out? Exactly. Knock on wood. It's all about balance, offense, and defense. Absolutely. That's why I say, hey, we need to, are we gonna win on all three levels? Like, are we gonna? Is our defense gonna show up? Is our defense gonna show up? Let's go to Jeff Ulbrich. Ulbrich or Ulbrich? I call it Ulbrich. Defensive coordinator, and he's also was a coach, a linebacker coach. What is it that we have on our squad that we needed for a long time? We had linebackers, y'all. We had an Ellis. Troy Anderson, is he going to be here or not? Is Braylon Trice going to make the squad or not? Is like Diablo was like, can Diablo be that new Caden Ellis? What people don't understand is we don't need Diablo to be a tackling machine. We need Diablo if he's going to be a veteran on the defense in the middle, veteran on the defense, and he's going to get people galvanized. And the young guys, Perkins, them, like all those other guys, get their playing time. We signed some veterans too on the offseason. What people don't understand is we put them on prove-it deals because we're going to say, hey, we can pay you and keep you here. Prove to me that you got something. Nobody's talking about the dude even that we got from the Texans. That dude we got from the Texans who came back, who they just dropped him down because they got other players. And you know about Texans. Texans always had a defense. Texas always had a defense and some great runners. Let's not even pretend like they don't. So this team, if Ulbrich or Ulbrich, if they do what they did last year, and don't forget that James Pierce Jr., he's going to come back. He got you 10. Who else? Who else? Was it Dorless? Dorless got you 8. It was like everybody was eating, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand. This team was pressurizing that rotisserie chicken, my boy. Like, they was out there getting to it. There was disruption that we just couldn't stop people that was running straight at us. But I think they're going to pretty much clear that up. Because, like I said, even with the head coaches that they built, my guys and gals, this is a no-nonsense coaching staff, y'all. This is a great coaching staff. Pause that 2 times. The regime here is a great staff assembled. Do you really expect the team to get that amount of sacks again, even after we went away from 5-man pressure? I honestly think, and it goes back, like I said, if everybody does their job, how many sacks did we get? Like 40? How many was it? How many sacks was it? Let's see. How many we got? 57. 57. Sheesh. He said 30, 37, or 38. No, sir. We had 57. Woo. 57. Woo. Listen, y'all. I'm going to tell you something. Can I tell y'all something? We don't need 57 sacks. We need to stop the run. You know what people are going to be telling us we're known for? Giving it up in the middle. Pause that. We need to not give it up in the middle anymore. And we need to stop the run. We can do it with less sacks. We can take 15 sacks off that number and make them plays be stopping the run or stopping the run for a loss. And we in there. We in there. Yeah. We get 40 to 45, and then we have some stops, run stops when they're in the backfield. That's the same as taking a sack. Pause that. What happening? What's happening? So yeah. So at the end of the day, like, we have to basically, our defense has to be better. So it's like, okay, we know what we were last year. That's the one constant that hasn't changed. We know what we were last year. We knew we had Bijan running. We know we had a Drake London that was going to have a career season before he got hurt. We know Kyle Pitts is an X factor. We know on the defense, you know what I'm saying? AJ will get blown on some routes two or three times a game. One of the things about AJ Terrell is he'll go for the big hit and celebrate when he didn't completely knock the person down, and then there been a ran past him. He's celebrating too early. I seen it a couple times. He was celebrating a little too early, and the dude was barely down, and it took the team. And then, but the thing is, that's why I was saying about, even people don't understand, like even a Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes is CB2, but still giving other people their reps. Kobe, developing Kobe. Go ahead and say Avion Sorrell and put him out there. Like, hey, bro, go out there and be great. Go out there and be great, especially with the linebackers. I feel our secondary is elite. Yes, our secondary is elite, and that's what's going to make people show up, because a Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts, stop it. With a Evian Terrell, Mike Hughes, and AJ Terrell, with a Jesse Bates, it's just, y'all finna get me hyped. Stop it. Like, that's why it's like, even the three levels of the defense, the first level in the trenches, we got to get that trench work when it comes to the runs. Second level, linebackers, got to get that work. And then our third level, our secondary, technically, is so becoming. And like another person that we didn't talk about, didn't we sign that dude from Georgia Tech undrafted? Right? Did we sign him? Yeah, Malik Rutherford. Right? He said Falcons ended up 18th in pass yards allowed. That's not reassuring. So you got to understand too. This is another thing. We're gonna go back. We're gonna circle back. I'm gonna take you back. Can I take you back? I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna take you back. Can I take you back? I'm gonna take you back to the part of the show when I said, when an organization is ran a certain way, certain players, it will live. When you're winning, it will feel great. You'll want to come to work. You'll want to do things for the team. When you have a lot of BS going on, a lot of drama, the morale of the team is down. It was something going on in the locker room that we didn't know about, that didn't really leak out. But understand that for whatever reason, it did lead to a lot of people getting fired. We already know that. We've seen the eye test for that. When you go to a job that you really don't like, you know you're finna go there and that person is BS that you work with. That person is always a negative Nancy that works right next to you in your cubicle. That person that you got to make sandwiches by, that be handing you the tomatoes and cutting the sandwiches in half, and that you just don't like them as a person. They always talking about how many problems they got. You know what that does to you? It makes you not want to put effort in. Even with all the stuff that we had going on, the success that we had going on with the team, all the sacks, all of this, the interceptions, Xavier Watts sending to Deion Sanders. Did you see what Deion Sanders on his record? They looking the same. You know what I'm saying? They looking the same, my boy. But you know what hurts even worse? When you put all that effort in, and guess what we do? We take a L. You start really caring then. I think that's why we was 18. Can you agree with that? Because at first we was like a no-fly zone. You got to understand, at one point in time, our offense and our defense was like number 1 and number 2. Was it not? Yep. Was it not? Last year. Was it not like number 1 and number 2? Right? Then in the beginning of the season, we got blown out. It was a whole bunch of stuff. That's when everything started going downhill. I expect us to focus on being a better coverage, but Billy down, Avion, an unknown, Hughes another year older. I think, man, he better get on his LeBron. Hughes better get on his LeBron. Go and get in that chamber or something. If it was gonna be easy, I wouldn't want it. I want it to be difficult. I want them to be like, man, the Falcons. I want them to be the team to beat. What it do? Lochness, Gats, boy, Speeds, GA, Texas, boy. Family, the new era Falcons football is here. Rise up, Dirty Birds. What's up? He said, very early when we are only a team with 3 games because we had an early bye. We are ranked high, but it's balanced out. Yeah, I don't like that early bye, y'all. Only reason I don't like that early bye, man, whatever, bro. Let's just get to it. We ain't even gonna worry about it. It's already set. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it regardless of what. I got one question for y'all before I get up out of here. I want to know. I always ask this question: what will be a successful season this year? And some people say winning the South. Some people haven't said it can be a playoff berth. It can be a wild card berth. It can be hosting a playoff game. If we win at least even if we don't win the South, but make a playoff berth, I'm good with that. Just because it was like almost a decade of losing. So at least when you go into the playoffs, you have an opportunity to be great, even with a losing record. But my question to y'all is, who? Because even the Western ain't had some question marks. Like the special team has some question marks because they got rid of a lot of people. Like a lot of people that we've been seeing faces on, like continuous faces, but they're pretty much gone. So I'm gonna ask that same question. Like, what is your expectation for this new regime? What is your expectation? Like, if you can close your eyes and say, okay, what you want the Falcons to do this year? And being realistic, saying something like, I want them to win the Super Bowl. Not saying it's not even impossible. Not saying it's impossible, because anything is possible, my guys and girls. Anything is possible. What is it that you expect from this team? Yeah. Said a playoff 330 said a playoff win. Yeah. It'll hit hard. Even if it's in a wild card, and then we make it into the playoff, like we make a playoff berth through the wild card. I told people even when we lost to the Eagles that time, I wasn't mad about losing to the Eagles because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Now, if they would have got tossed out the next game, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. I'm not even going to cap. My honest expectation in 7 wins, but we still look better on the field than last year, even with the less wins. My expectation, to me, honestly, is for us, if we're going to play tough against those teams that they're saying we're going to lose to, I want us to consistently play tough against the teams they're saying we should win. Because if you think about the games that we should have destroyed Miami at home. Tua came in here with one eye. And beat us. And now people got a problem with the guy who came in here and beat us. When you want that, we want him to be doing it to other teams too. It's crazy. And then going against the Jets in San Francisco, Miami Jets in San Francisco, we'll be having a different conversation. So, like I said, these losses last year was a blessing in disguise, y'all, because we got a new regime. Because just imagine if we would have won all those games and made a playoff berth and lost, we would still see them same people. It would look so different. So sometimes taking them L's this is what we needed. Can you imagine us still having Raheem Morris here? And then having Matt Ryan hired. Like, I'm like, bro, like, it's just to me, it's rejuvenating to have a clean slate. Now, my expectations for that clean slate is to play those hard-fought games, finish football games. I would rather us go down the field, be neck and neck games, and then boom, somebody just drop the ball, get hit and drop the ball when they could have scored. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no game led up to by a kicker, who missing kicks. Nah. I'm more concerned about having completely play calling and game management. The players can handle the rest. That's why I generalize with the finishing football games. That all goes that. I mean, I feel like we have a no-nonsense head coaching staff. Pause. I feel like the Avengers assembled, the regime assembled, that we have in the organization is going to prove its salt. Now, do I feel like they're going to be trying to get it together? Absolutely. There's one thing we don't have the many years that the Patriots had. With everybody on the Patriots team, when they had that dynasty going, they stayed. Everybody was eating and winning, and it was nice. Everybody, I mean, more than likely, people like their job. Because when you was winning and getting Super Bowls all the time and going to playoffs and winning games and highly regarded, it's lovely. He said, I actually can still see Raheem winning 9 games next year if he was here, but I expect Kevin to have struggles installing a new system. It's all about, like you said, if the players go out there and do what they need to do, simplify everything, make it about execution, using speed, and making your skilled players do what let them go out there and be what they're going to be. If Bijan Robinson is the person that runs all over the place, let him run. If Kyle Pitts is a X factor, utilize that. Drake London is one of the best possession receivers, and utilize that. Put Kyle Pitts in the slot. Let Branch, Dotson, Zacchaeus be that extra. Have both Robinsons out there. I'm used to having Bijan and Algier. Oh man, no Algier, my boys. No more Tyler. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. It's so different, man. Oh man, it just feel different. I looked at my Tyler Algier jersey. I was like, damn. And then they rob and snub my boy. They gonna get them a running back down there. That's just like Tyler Algier ain't gonna be in front of that running back. They gotta pay. Come on, man. The players bought into Raheem last year. At the end, we dismantled that, took a gamble, hoping in a playoff. Yeah, bro. No more talking about Raheem, but when my boy was sitting here showing them chicken ass legs dancing, I remember it, bro. Bro was like, and I'm looking like, this dude dancing like we winning. We have a winning season. When the coach is fired up, why do you think the dude in Miami, that little small guy, was like, they were like, his job was on the line. But most of the time, dude was winning. he had the whole team on, like, it was all in the locker room. It feels good to win. We just got to get a couple of wins up under our belt. And remember when we was winning? That year when we was winning? And then people was complaining how we was winning? All right, y'all. I ain't buying into that Raheem. Only thing I said about Raheem, like I mentioned, is if he would have been great as a melanated brother, he would have been raised up. Because we got culture down here in Atlanta. He would have been raised up. Can you imagine? This man finna be raised up if we would have been winning. You see how they did Michael Vick? Number 1 overall, Falcons pick, Michael Vick. And he was so electrifying, and nobody was doing what Vic was doing and how it looked like, bro. And then I loved it. Man, dude, they got them Vic. I need to find some Vicks, bro. They need to bring those shoes back out. Nike, stop playing. I need them Vicks, my guys. But that's why Vic is highly regarded, because he was so good. They don't even realize we was losing with Michael Vick too. We just looked good doing it. When people like, man, I liked it when we had Vic here. I liked it when we had Vic. I said, tell us our record when we had Vic. It wouldn't be a stretch, bro. That's all I care about, y'all. Really. That's all I care about. You feel me? That's all I care about. And guess what this is? This is a Michael Vick signed helmet. Michael Vick signed helmet. Not trying to hit my microphone, my bad. Michael Vick signed helmet, y'all. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this before I call it a wraps. Like I say, follow your boy. I didn't mention it, but follow your boy on the Lochness podcast on YouTube. Road to 500 subs. If y'all got some people that like Atlanta Falcons, like you like Atlanta Falcons, just tell them and say, hey, go to my boy the Lochness podcast. Just hit subscribe and share and hit the notification bell. And then when you go to other people's content, be like, hey, the Lochness podcast sent me. And they're like, who is the Lochness podcast? Another person that's representing the red and black. Because like I tell people all the time, any other podcaster or content creator doing their thing about the Atlanta Falcons and putting that great content out is just considering to me another collaborator that I haven't collaborated with just of yet. So no shade, no tea to nobody, but represent the squad and show your, oh, who is this calling me? We ain't taking no phone calls. I'm just saying we claim we should have dismantled the Miami last year, yet finished one game off of us. I'm saying based off of Tua like this. Can you imagine somebody doing like this? Never had a visor on his eyes ever. Never played with one at all. It was his first time playing with a visor with one eye. Can you imagine? This dude, man, I don't want to talk about him. We good. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Regardless of what, man, bump Miami. Besides now. Come on, Tua. Tagovailoa. Most people don't know how to pronounce his name. Tagovailoa. From Alabama. Doing his thing in Alabama. But I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Like I said, boy, this is your boy Lochness. Your boy finna go. Check out the Ladybirds. I think they're going on tonight as well. Check out their content. Check out everybody else in AFN. Represent them. Show them love. Tell them the Lochness was lit. Tell them you're part of the Liddy committee with the Lochness. You're part of the Liddy committee. And those who always show love, man, appreciate it. You know, I'm out until next. I want to say Thursday, but I'm going to have my little babies with me. Yeah, I'm gonna have 3 babies. They're gonna be all up in here barking and going crazy and acting a fool. So move back. Got one right up under me. Come on, bro. Let me end my live. No, he's looking for love now. But But I appreciate y'all, man. Until next Tuesday, man. Your boy the Lochness